Episode 2, the non-existent curvature. If mathematically the ball Earth is 24,000 miles in circumference at the equator, mathematically speaking, that would mean that the Earth at the equator would experience a curve or drop arc of 8 inches per every mile squared. Here's a chart explaining and mapping all of this out for you. So, this being the case in their made-up model, a pilot would need to adjust the nose downward in order to maintain the same altitude above the ball Earth's surface and to avoid flying upward at a tangent to the sphere down below. Not only that, but there are a number of very illogical flight patterns that commercial airlines use instead of just taking a straight shot or the shortest, most direct, and most economical route, at least, if we live on a ball. For example, now I'll read proofs 43 and 46 from Eric Dubé's 200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball. Proof number 43. If Earth was a ball, there are several flights in the southern hemisphere which would have their quickest, straightest path over the Antarctic continent, such as Santiago, Chile to Sydney, Australia. Instead of taking the shortest, quickest route in a straight line over Antarctica, all such flights detour all manner of directions away from Antarctica, instead claiming the temperatures are too cold for airplane travel. Once again, these make absolutely no sense on the globe, but are completely understandable when mapped on a flat Earth. The next proof that Earth is not a spinning ball, not from the book, but just on my own accord, water. And if you look up D. Marble on YouTube, he talks a lot about how water always lies level. It always finds its level. It's flat. Water will always seek its level, which is why a river flows from a higher elevation down until it reaches the ocean, which is level, meaning flat. So if water is always level and the Earth's surface is 70% water, then ergo, Earth cannot be curved, convex structure, but is flat. Other proofs of no curvature are the Suez Canal, the Utah or Bolivian salt flats, the up to 270 square miles of flat plains or llanos of Venezuela, and the fact that over the last 700 miles of Amazon's course, the river, it experiences a drop of only 12 inches. Meaning, if it were possible for me to stand at the lower edge and then you go up 700 miles and we happen to have a very, very long string, the string will only slant down 12 inches over the 700 miles. Not possible on a ball. Let's do the math. 12 inches, they say. Well, in actuality, it drops 12 inches, whereas, according to our math formula for curvature on a 24,000 mile circumference ball, there's a drop of 8 inches per mile squared, would be 700 times 700, which is 490,000 times 8 inches. That's 3,920,000 inches divided by 12 to give us feet. That's 326,606.666, of course, triple sixes, feet. Divided by 5,280 feet gives us miles. So then, there should be a drop of approximately 61.86 or 62 miles. But in reality, there's only a drop of 12 inches. Something to ponder, perhaps? Next, we were told that when a ship goes out of view, as it goes further and further out to sea, that it's going over the curve of the earth, so that's why we can't see it any longer. But this old tale that people still buy, sadly, and that I had too until the scales were removed from my eyes, was told to people long ago before the invention of binoculars, telescopes, periscopes, or super zoom cameras like the Nikon Coolpix P900, or before they became readily available, at least to the populace. Now, these things can be found quite readily, and one can easily zoom in and bring the disappeared ship, or what have you, back into view, miraculously, which is not possible if it's on the other side of a dip or downward curve or big wall of water. This is only possible on a flat plane, as these devices are merely allowing you to see further out past your normal line of vision. They are not bringing objects back up over some imaginary curve. As Eric Dubay explains in his book 200 Proofs, Earth is not a spinning ball, on page 126 and 127. Or rather, on pages 26 and 27. These are proofs 138 and 139. The fact of the matter is that the law of perspective on plane surfaces dictates and necessitates the exact same occurrence. For example, a girl wearing a dress walking away toward the horizon will appear to sink into the earth the further away she walks. Her feet will disappear first from view, and the distance between the ground and the bottom of her dress will gradually diminish until after about half a mile it seems like her dress is touching the ground, and she walks on invisible legs. Such is the case on plane surfaces. The lowest part of objects receding from a given point of observation necessarily disappear before the highest. This also proves that the horizon is simply the vanishing line of perspective from your point of view, not the alleged curvature of Earth. This concludes episode 2 on the non-existent curvature. Stay tuned, coming soon, for episode 3 on the sun, moon, and stars and ancient cosmology. And as Jeranism always says, open your mind. There's truth inside. Bye for now.